it's always going to be better to stay ready than to get ready. So I was just in Colombia, and a little something about that trip. I didn't even know I was going until 3 or 4 days before, when my boy called me up and he invited me, said he had an extra spot at the Airbnb, sold me on the experience, and I was like, all right, word, let's do it. And I knew we were going to be at the beach, and I was 8 weeks into my diet at that point. And, you know, I felt pretty decent about myself before I was at the beach with my shirt off. And I think it just goes, because I don't know if I probably wouldn't have done it if I hadn't been dieting. So I started off at 230 and I got down to 217 by the time I went. And so I had already lost 13 pounds, but if I was still 230 and I knew I hadn't been dieting for those 8 weeks, and I knew I wasn't putting in the work to get into good shape, I don't know if I would have went or, you know, felt comfortable with my shirt off at the beach. And it just goes to show, like, it's just so much easier when you stay ready for when moments like this come up. Because realistically, if I was not going to go on the trip because of the reason or the excuse that I wasn't confident with the shape that I was in at the time, like, that's just a BS reason, because I have total control over that. Like, the 230 was the decisions that I made leading up to being 230. And I'm not saying it was a total bad 230, because part of the plan was to bulk. That's usually what I do every winter. But at the same time, it's usually not diced up at the beach 230. It's like a fluffy, I'm under a sweatshirt 230. So it's just always easier to stay ready than to get ready. When you stay ready, you can use opportunities like this and get the most out of them. And when you have to get ready, it sucks, because you know you haven't been putting in the work. You know you don't necessarily have that confidence that you would if you knew you were on your shit all the time. And so it just goes to show, you gotta stay ready for the moment. Don't get ready. Obviously, summer's coming up. We have about 4 weeks, maybe 5, I guess, depending on when you count summer. I've always counted it as MDW for the boys who go down the shore, but 4 or 5 weeks till summer. So if you need help with your diet, with a workout plan, with some lifestyle habits, follow the Instagram, shoot me a DM, and let's get to work. Let's do this thing. Let's get you in shape by the time June rolls around. We'll get you confident with your shirt off. Peace, boys.